So I heard you want to beat the Lost Sector fast.
Now, I'll be running this Lost Sector with a very in-depth build that I made a whole video on previously. I'll briefly describe the build after I show you the location of today's Lost Sector. The exotic armor in rotation today is Chest. Today we'll be clearing with just one class, but there are builds for all three classes in the description. And with that out of the way, what's good guys, it's Zen. Thanks for choosing my channel, and let's hop right into today's guide. Alright, now for today's Lost Sector, we're going to be dealing with Barrier and Overload champions. With that in mind, we're going to be using my Gerfalcon's Hauberk build with an auto rifle, a trace rifle, and deterministic chaos. Now the auto rifle is here due to it stunning those Barrier champions. The trace rifle is here due to the heavy build synergy and the fact that it stuns Overload champions, and deterministic chaos is here again due to that heavy build synergy and it just doing some crazy damage. Now there is so much going on with this build. I mean guys, we literally have infinite devour, overshield, invisibility, and volatile rounds. Now if that doesn't sound like enough to you, we're also taking advantage of artifact perks. So guys, you are definitely going to want to check out this build in the description, and if you don't want to check it out now, you will after you see the gameplay. So with that being said, let's hop right into the guide. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do when we enter this Lost Sector is there's just going to be 3 ads that we need to deal with: Servitor and 2 Shanks. So we're just going to absolutely melt them. Now you see we are becoming invisible from everything that we kill. There is so much going on. We have 4 void buffs going on with every single kill because of the build that we're running. We're using my Gerfalcon's perfected build. There's just so much going on. We got Devour, Overshield, Invis, and volatile rounds. Infinitely, absolutely insane stuff. It shines specifically in these solo builds. So you saw we're just going to have to deal with that wave of drag. Obviously those first 3 ads to even get into this room, and now we just have to deal with this Barrier champion, and after that we can proceed forward into the next room. Really easy stuff for the introduction of this Lost Sector. Now I do like to take care of this Barrier champion from the right side. In my testing, that has been the optimal position to deal with him, because otherwise you're getting hit by too many of the Shanks. You know, obviously he's making those Shanks immune. Now after you deal with the Barrier champion, what's going to happen is all these ads are going to drop down. Now, usually what happens is an Overload will drop down, but as you can see, the Overload is not in our face, and that is because he is behind us. You guys are going to want to watch out for that. Sometimes this Overload champion just does whatever he feels like. You know, he was having a trip. He was, you know, he was low-key, like, flirting with that Barrier champion. He was kind of pissed when we killed it, so now he's here. Now he's on our back. You know, he wants revenge, but we were aware of that, and we just took care of him. There was nothing he could do, and honestly, it's kind of embarrassing. You had the sneak attack. Now, proceeding forward, as you can see, there's a sniper on the left side here. Now, you just saw me break my invis. That's not entirely relevant to the guide, but, you know, it's part of the build, so I do want to talk about it. Basically, what I was doing there was I was canceling my invis, because what that does is it gives me those volatile rounds. Now, talking about that sniper on the left side, you're going to want to have an optimal position where he's not able to fire at you, because obviously he's a sniper, he's going to do some heavy damage. So if you're standing right where I'm standing, he can't see you, he can't be shooting at you. Now we're going to kill all those ads that we killed, and now we are on the Overload champion. You're going to need to melt this Overload champion as fast as possible, because what's about to happen is, as you can see, the Barrier champion is now coming, and if that Barrier makes the Overload immune, now you're dealing with 2 champions at once, and you need to kill the Barrier first, and the Barrier's not the bigger threat. The Overload is. The Overload's the one that actually does damage to you. Barrier servitors specifically, they do really low damage. They have very slow projectiles that actually don't do much damage at all. So anyways, you're going to want to take care of them in that order, otherwise you're going to be in a bit of trouble. Now, one thing that's cool about Barriers, though, is after you stun them, they actually stop making things immune temporarily, so you can use that time to actually kill all the ads that they're making immune. But if they're making an Overload immune, it's still going to be trouble no matter what, because obviously you can't melt an Overload in the short duration that a Barrier is stunned for. So after we take care of that Barrier champion, it's just going to be ad clear, and then the final boss room will open. We're just going to absolutely melt these guys with our 4 void buffs going on, with our volatile, with our overshield, with our invis, with our devour. We're just going to absolutely melt them. Really easy stuff, guys. Now, after you take care of those guys, the room will actually open, but I do recommend taking care of all of the ads in this room, because otherwise you're going to have stuff shooting you in the back. We're not going to be that far from the entrance that just opened up, and they can peek in and they will kill you if you don't take care of them, so I do recommend that. But after we take care of the final ads, we can proceed forward. Now you see there's going to be 2 servitors here. Going to melt those guys really quickly with the build. And after they fall over, we just have a boss, which is just their parent. I don't know. Single parent over here. Well, we're going to deal with these wretches first. Boom, pick that up, grab our overshield. Okay, and again, the final boss is hiding. He's shy today. There he is. The final boss is just a gigantic servitor, and as you can see, we're absolutely melting it. It has literally no health for some reason. So we're just gonna blow our load in a second here, gonna shoot our super at it, and as you can see, each shot is doing about a quarter of its health. So this is a super easy farm today, guys. Definitely not going to want to miss out on this. And that's going to be the guide, guys. Hopefully this helped. If it did, be sure to subscribe as I post Lost Sector guides daily. Either way, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Peace.